Hello everyone, Suresh KP from myinvestmentedge.com. Today we are going to discuss about Kotak NASDAQ 100 Fund of Fund, a new fund offer. What are fund of funds? This fund would invest in overseas ETFs and other index funds, hence it is termed as a fund of fund. So generally these funds would not go and pick individual stocks, they'll just go and invest in other ETFs and funds as per the investment objective. Let's see the NFO issue details. Scheme opens on 11th January. It's going to close on 25th January, and further it will reopen on 9th February for further subscription. One can invest 5,000 rupees minimum, and they can go for SIP of 1,000 rupees for 6 months. There is no entry load and there is no exit load. It's classified as high risk investment scheme. Total expense ratio is 1%, and the benchmark is NASDAQ 100 index. Investment objective of this fund is to provide long-term capital appreciation by investing in ETFs and index fund based on the NASDAQ 100 index. What is the allocation pattern in this fund? It is going to invest units of overseas ETFs and index fund between 95% to 100%. Risk profile is high. It's going to invest in debt schemes and debt and money market instruments up to 5%. The risk profile is low to medium. Let's see why to invest in this Kotak NASDAQ 100 Fund of Fund. This fund invests in overseas ETFs and index funds that invest in NASDAQ 100 index. If you see, NASDAQ 100 index has outperformed in the last 5 years. So if you see in the last 10 years, it has given 20% plus annualized returns. Hence, investing in such index ETF or index funds would provide superior returns to investors in the medium to long term. Now, this fund is going to invest in ETF and fund that invest in US NASDAQ 100 companies. Generally, these companies are like Netflix, Facebook, Amazon, Google, etc. They're all part of your NASDAQ 100 index. So investors can get a overseas investment exposure if they're investing in this fund. What are the risk factors of investing in Kotak NASDAQ 100 Fund of Fund? This fund invests in ETF and index funds of NASDAQ 100 index stocks. So it is immaterial whether the underlying companies are doing good or bad. This fund has to go and invest in those ETFs and index mutual funds. So they are good, they are underperforming, it's immaterial. They have to continue to invest in those stocks. Now this fund invests in NASDAQ 100 index companies. So there is a currency risk as well as a geopolitical risk. This fund also invests some small portion in debt instruments which are turned to be high risk these days. You can refer complete risk factors in the Nfo scheme information document. Now this scheme is going to invest in some of the ETFs and index funds. Let us see how is the past performance of these ETFs and index. So if you see the first one, iShares NASDAQ 100 ETF USD ACC, there are 1 year return of 48%, and if you observe 3 to 10 years is ranging between 20 to 27% annualized returns. If you see another ETF like NASDAQ 100 ETF, 1 year return is 33%, and 3 year, 5 year returns are ranging between 22 and 24%. Even third index fund, which is USAA NASDAQ 100 index fund, 1 year return is 47%, and if you see the annualized returns are for 3 to 10 years ranging between 19 to 25%. So if you observe the underlying ETFs or index mutual funds, they are giving anywhere between say 19% to 48%. Now don't go with this 1 year returns which are very high. For whatever reasons, the stock market has been booming and it's in bull run. So one can expect say anywhere between 15 to 18% or even up to 20% if you are investing for long term in such mutual funds. Now should you invest? So if you see this Kotak NASDAQ 100 Fund of Fund is going to invest in overseas ETFs and index mutual funds that are part of NASDAQ 100 index. So I have been recommending to invest in Motilal Oswal NASDAQ ETF, which is actually, if you see, it has outperformed in the last 5-10 years. Again, its 1 year performance is 45%, but if you see the 5 year annualized returns is 25% and almost 10 years annualized returns is 24%. So I'm not saying one can expect a similar returns, but the returns are going to be superior, anywhere between 15 to 18%. One can expect if at all you are investing for say 5 to 10 years. At the same time, only high risk investors should invest in this fund, and moderate to low risk investors should avoid such funds. If you have any queries, reach out to me, Suresh at myinvestmentedge.com. Thank you.